Hello, my name is Luna. I'm graduated in tourism and hotel management. I'm from Buenos Aires City, Argentina. I'm 27 years old, and when I was 23, I went to live in Mexico, where I lived for a year. Then I went to Brazil, where I lived for 2 years. In both countries, I work in tourism. Last year, I came back, and now I'm living in Buenos Aires, where I was born. In this video, I'm going to tell you about my city. Buenos Aires is the capital of Argentina and the city with the largest population in the country, with approximately 3 million inhabitants. Those born in Buenos Aires are popularly called porteños. Buenos Aires, located on the banks of Rio de la Plata, is a cosmopolitan city, and it is considered one of the most important tourist destinations in South America. Most of its development began with the arrival of European immigrants during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. This is why Buenos Aires has a great European influence and why it is considered the Paris of South America. In this video, I will talk a little about our football, and I will show you one of the most important stadiums in Buenos Aires. I will also show you the most emblematic and touristic places to visit. I will talk about our dance, tango, and I will tell you where you can see the best tango shows. I will recommend you the best restaurants where you can try the best Argentinian meat. You will also see the most important museums, our typical drink, our nightlife, and one of my favorite bars. I will mention you the most important shopping centers in my city, and I will give you some special tips to do the best shopping with the lowest prices. Finally, I will show you the avenue that never sleeps. To start, football is a very important item in Argentine culture. It's the most popular and the most practiced sport in the country. In Buenos Aires, football is much more than a sport. It is a spectacle lived with passion and fanatism. In many countries of the world, we are recognized as Argentinians for having two great football referents, Diego Maradona and Lionel Messi. Do you know that Buenos Aires is the city with more football stadiums in the world? Among them, we have River Plate Stadium, which is the biggest in the country, and Boca Juniors Stadium, more popularly called La Bombonera. I'm ambostera, term used to describe Boca Juniors fans. The Bombonera, with its traditional colors blue and yellow, is one of the most emblematic stadiums in the world, and it is located in the district of La Boca. La Boca is one of the first districts founded in Buenos Aires. It is famous for its particular buildings, colorful houses, and narrow streets. One of the most important attractions of La Boca is Caminito, an area with stone streets where the houses preserve their original colors and style. The houses, made of wood and metal, are painted in strong colors, corresponding to the style of the traditional conventillo. The conventillo was a type of precarious place that at the end of the 19th century used to be the house for immigrant families. Here we can find many restaurants and bars to sit down and eat something while enjoying outdoor tango shows and other street artists. We can also find a great offer of stores to buy souvenirs. Although during the day La Boca is one of the most memorable neighborhoods of the city, when night falls it becomes one of the most dangerous places. So it's better to visit it in the morning and not go far from the most touristic streets. La Boca is also known as the quarter where the tango was born. Tango is a musical style and a dance that revolutionized popular culture by introducing a sensual dance that is performed as a couple embracing each other. It is one of the cultural icons of Argentine people. Tango can be found in every corner of the city, with both its music and its dance. Buenos Aires has a great offer of places where you can learn to dance tango and enjoy a good dinner watching a tango show at the same time. Some of these places are El Querandí, El Viejo Almacén, and Señor Tango. These places offer a unique experience where you can take a tango class and then stay for a dinner while attending a tango show. Another iconic district in Buenos Aires where we can find artistic expressions like tango is San Telmo. San Telmo is one of the oldest and most traditional districts in Buenos Aires. There, we can find a marked colonial architecture and stone streets. Among the attractions that can be visited in San Telmo, there are some ancient churches, bars, restaurants, museums, shops, and the Antiques and Craft Fair located in the main square, named Plaza Dorrego. On Sundays, this area is crowded with people who visit the San Telmo Fair, buy handicrafts and antiques, and enjoy the great variety of street artists, such as musicians, dancers, magicians, and living statues. Buenos Aires is a great gastronomic pole where we can find a wide variety of restaurants for all likes. But we must highlight the Argentinian meat, that is considered the best meat in the world. The most typical Argentinian meat is the asado, usually accompanied by French fries or salad. It can be eaten at any grill in the city. The city offers a lot of grills in all areas, but I will highlight some of them which I consider to be the best. They are Don Julio in Palermo, La Cabrera, also in Palermo, and Siga la Vaca in Puerto Madero. Puerto Madero is one of the youngest districts. There we can find a great gastronomic and 5-star hotels offer. It is one of the most luxurious and safe areas in Buenos Aires. Puerto Madero has a whole pedestrian area around the different docks. Very nice to walk and to enjoy the river and the open air. The symbol of Puerto Madero is the Woman Bridge, named Puente de la Mujer, whose design is a synthesis of the image of a couple dancing tango. It is the perfect place to take a typical picture of Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires is a city with a great cultural development that offers a variety of national and international art museums of all disciplines, ranging from old emblematic works to contemporary pieces. I will highlight the National Museum of Fine Arts, the Malva Museum of Latin American Art of Buenos Aires, and the Museum of Modern Art. Art and culture have such an important place in Buenos Aires that once a year the Night of the Museums takes place. It consists of a night where all museums remain open and offer free activities for all tastes and ages until the early morning. We can find exhibitions, music, theater, and much more. Another place you cannot miss in Buenos Aires is Recoleta. It is a residential district that stands out for its great cultural places, historical monuments, and its large parks. Among these places, we can highlight Plaza Francia, a large park with a craft fair that opens every weekend. and the Recoleta Cemetery, which is one of the main touristic attractions. It is an extraordinary sample of the funeral design of 19th and early 20th centuries, with family pantheons and both of the bourgeoisie. Here you can find the remains of several protagonists of Argentine history, such as Eva Perón and presidents of the nation. Next to Recoleta Cemetery, we can find the Recoleta Cultural Center, one of the most important exhibition halls of plastic arts. In Recoleta, you can also find the National Museum of Fine Arts and the Malva, which I already mentioned. One of the monuments to visit in the area is the Floralis Generalis by Eduardo Catalano, an important monument that is a symbol of hope and eternal springtime in which everything grows and develops. Recoleta's parks are perfect for getting together with friends to drink some mates. The mate is another traditional Argentine icon. Argentinians drink mate and it is part of everyday life in many homes and workplaces. Mate is an infusion made from yerba mate leaves, with a bitter taste. This is why some people prefer to sweeten it. This is a mate. It consists of a kind of wooden cup where you put the yerba, the water, and then the bombilla. This is a bombilla. I don't know how to say this in English. The infusion is drunk from the bombilla and passed from one person to the other in a round who continues drinking it. I'm going to talk about my favorite place of Buenos Aires, Palermo. Palermo is the largest district of the city and is divided into many areas: Palermo Viejo, Palermo Hollywood, Palermo Soho, Palermo Chico, and others. Here we can see the Palermo woods. They are the green lung of the city. These woods include a lot of parks and green spaces. People usually go there on weekends to do sports, run, ride their bikes, take a boat ride, or sunbathe in front of the lakes. I'm going to talk about Palermo Soho, an area of the Palermo district, with hundreds of thematic bars, restaurants, discos, art galleries, design and decoration houses, and many commercial stores for shopping. It is an ideal place to go out for a walk and take original pictures in these particular streets decorated with graffitis. In addition, Palermo Soho is the nightlife center of Buenos Aires. Here, many dinners end in longer outings. We find many bars, discos, and nightlife movement from about 9 p.m. to 7 or 8 a.m. There are bars with alternative theater, live music, cycles with jazz, funk, and soul. I'm going to mention an original bar called Frank's, located here in Palermo Soho. This bar honors the times of the prohibition of alcohol, the dry law. To enter, you must have a specific password that is posted during the week on the bar social networks. Once the password is given, you enter the bar through a kind of American phone box and go to the hall where you find a wonderful place, set as an American club from the 20s and a bar where the drinks they serve are excellent. If you want to go shopping, don't miss our shopping centers. In my opinion, the most beautiful ones are Patio Bullrich and Alto Palermo, where you can find the most famous trademarks. You can buy clothes and other articles at very good prices, since for tourists, everything is very cheap here. Listen, I will tell you a secret. If you want to get the same items of clothing at lower prices, you should come to Aguirre Street. The best outlets will be waiting for you. And then you can visit me, as I live just around the corner of these shops. Buenos Aires is a great city. It is also worth mentioning the great amount of theater offerings. Most of the theaters are located on Corrientes Avenue, called the street that never sleeps, since it has the largest concentration of bookstores, theaters, and cinemas. On this street, there is also the iconic obelisk, a historical monument built in 1936 to commemorate the fourth centenary of the first foundation of Buenos Aires. Whoever visits Buenos Aires cannot miss taking a photo of this monument, located at the intersection of the two most important avenues, Corrientes Avenue and 9 de Julio Avenue. To visit all the places I talked about, you can use different means of transport: buses, taxis, and undergrounds. We have 6 lines, but the most useful ones are Line B by Corrientes Avenue and Line D by Santa Fe Avenue. This is Luna, and this is my city report from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I hope to see you soon in my city.